Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize this assignment's going to end up with me smashing a spy ring because a trained SEAL gets a bad case of the blues. Morning, Commissioner. Ruth said you wanted to see me.
I do, Steve. You're leaving for Istanbul, Turkey on the next plane.
Turkey? Oh, great. Last time I was there, as I remember, I got stabbed at, shot at, and beaten up in that order.
Well, maybe you'll be lucky enough to change the order of events around a little this time.
Oh, swell.
You'll probably need to take a large rubber ball and a dead fish with you.
Let's have that again.
You're to contact a character named Lefty over there.
So what's a rubber ball and a dead fish got to do with it?
Lefty is a trained SEAL.
You know, for a minute I thought you said a trained SEAL.
That's just what I did say. More particularly, you're to talk to his owner, a vaudeville entertainer named Sam.
Oh, just a minute, Commissioner. I'm a pretty patient guy. You send me to a lot of strange places to do a lot of strange things. But if you think I'm going to fly clear to Turkey to audition a trained SEAL act, you'd...
Why, Steve, I thought you always fancied yourself as a sort of talent scout.
Well, in certain fields, maybe, but trained SEALs yet.
All kidding aside, Steve, we're up against a tough proposition.
You mean the SEAL wants more dough for his act?
I mean, there's been a very clever spy ring operating throughout the Middle East. Its entire operation seems to depend on one person. Quite a bit of confidential information from this country seems to have been transmitted by this ring. That's why it's vital to us that it be smashed, that the ringleader be caught.
Well, what's all this got to do with a SEAL? Don't tell me you think that
I'm
he's
coming
the
to
one...
that. Steve, as you probably heard, Yusuf Tokat, head of Turkish intelligence, was murdered the night before last. There was a bomb rigged in his car. When he stepped on the starter, he was blown up.
I see. You think Tokat was on the trail of the head of this man, this spy ring fella?
Definitely.
But where do the trained SEAL and his owner figure in the deal?
That's for you to find out. All we know is that they're apparently involved in some way.
Well, that's a nice handful of nothing to go on.
You'll work with Lieutenant Balik of the Istanbul police, Steve. Now get over there. Talk to Balik. Talk to the SEAL's owner. Talk to the SEAL if you have to. But find out who that spy ringleader is and grab him. Well, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
NBC is presenting Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy in the role of Steve Mitchell, colorful, two-fisted government agent. At all those places of the world where danger and intrigue walk hand in hand, there you will find Steve Mitchell on another dangerous assignment.
Sure, I've got my assignment. Just talk to a trained SEAL named Lefty and find out who's heading a spy ring in the Middle East. Yeah, real cinch. Well, it's Thursday when I get to Istanbul, and I head for Lieutenant Balik's office.
It is a pleasure to welcome you, Mr. Mitchell. I hope you will be able to help us get to the bottom of this mystifying affair.
Well, I'll give it the old school try, Lieutenant.
First, I would like you to meet Dalmud.
I am honored, Mr. Mitchell.
Dalmud?
Dalmud is Tokat's assistant. I arranged for him to be here to give you such information as he possesses.
I see. Now, as I understand it, Dalmud, your boss, Joseph Tokat, was head of intelligence here and was on the trail of the leader of this spy ring that's been operating throughout the Middle East?
That is correct. It is our theory, of course, that he was getting close to this person and was blown up in his automobile for that reason.
Yeah. Did he give you any indication as to who he thought he was after?
Not much. Tokat was a very brilliant agent, but very close-mouthed. He preferred to operate alone. He did mention to me that he was not sure whether this person was a man or woman, but that is all he said.
Which, unfortunately, does not give us much to go on.
No, it sure doesn't, Lieutenant Balik. Look, Dalmud, how about Tokat's files? Did you find anything there that might give us a lead?
Unfortunately, no. In his confidential files is a folder pertaining to the investigation he was undertaking at the time of his murder. But it is just general information. One sheet of paper had been torn out, however.
Probably the sheet that pegs the killer. Well, looks like we're getting nowhere fast. Incidentally, can either of you tell me how this guy Sam and his trained SEAL figure in this deal?
We know only that Tokat's car was parked 3 blocks from the theater where the train seal performs, and that Tokat is supposed to have attended the performance the night of his murder.
So what? That isn't much of a tie-in.
But since the murder, Mitchell, there have been several attempts on the life of this Sam, the SEAL's trainer.
Oh, well, maybe that throws a new light on things. Where do I find this guy Sam?
He has an apartment not far from here. Simply show this pass to the guard, and he will admit you.
Oh, okay, thanks. I'll check with you later, gentlemen. Outside Sam's apartment house, there's a rugged-looking guard who lets me by after looking at my pass. I knock on Sam's door, and after a long pause, it's opened by a little withered-up-looking gent with a towel on one arm.
So, what's the deal, Jack?
You, Sam?
Sam it is. What's yours, Jack?
Steve Mitchell from the States. Here's my credentials.
Oh, yeah, they told me you were coming. Come on in, Jack.
Steve.
Sure, Jack.
Go ahead. Finish washing up. We can talk later.
Washing up?
Yeah, your arms. They're all wet.
I'm giving Lefty a bath, Jack.
Steve. Oh, you mean that seal?
Sure. Come on, we can talk while I'm finishing up.
Okay.
Here's Lefty. Ain't he a beaut?
Brother, in the bathtub yet.
Where else, Jack?
Steve. You really take good care of him, don't you?
He's my bread and butter, Steve.
Jack, I mean... Oh, skip it.
This is Steve, Lefty.
Not impressed.
Don't worry about that. Lefty's always suspicious of strangers at first.
Well, maybe I should show him my credentials.
You know, Jack, I'm worried about Lefty.
What do you mean?
Well, he hasn't been himself the last few days. Acts real depressed. I wonder if he could have eaten something that didn't agree with him. Oh, now, easy, Lefty, easy. I got to get the little flipper whippers clean.
Look. Now, right now, I'm more interested in what you know about Tokat's murder than I am in Lefty's diet.
Oh, sure. You know, it's a funny thing about that. Nah, come to think of it, it ain't funny. I'm scared. At first, I don't think there's any connection. But about the time of the second attempt...
Wait a minute. Let's start at the beginning, huh?
Okay. You see, Jack, I'm playing at the theater just down the street. They got an English language movie there, a newsreel, then a couple of vaudeville acts, 2 baggy pants comics, a dancer, and Lefty and me.
And according to your story, Joseph Tokat was in the theater the night that he was murdered?
Oh, he sure was.
How do you know?
Because that night, Lefty got depressed. And when he gets depressed, I got to cut his act short. So I fill in the time by going down into the audience and giving them a few magic tricks. You know, pulling pigeons out of their hats, picking their pockets, stuff like that.
Go on.
Well, so I pick out this one guy in the audience, and it turns out to be this Joseph Tokat who gets himself killed a few minutes later.
You sure it was Tokat?
Well, sure, I'm sure. I got to look at his name on his wallet. And if that ain't enough, the next night I spot him in the newsreel. Then I hear the guy got himself knocked off. And then, Jack, then things start happening to yours truly.
What sort of things?
Well, first it's a sandbag falling on me backstage. Then some joker throws a shot at me from an alley.
Wait a minute. You say you pulled Tokat's wallet out of his pocket. Could you have taken anything else with it?
I don't get you,
A
Jack.
piece of paper, maybe. Or could Tokat have slipped you the paper without your knowing about it?
Well, I don't see how. Hey, what are you getting at?
There's a very important piece of paper missing from Tokat's confidential files and could contain information about his killer. And if you had it without knowing about it, it could explain why the killer might be after you.
Nah, it don't boil, Jack. I empty my pockets every night. There was nothing in them after the performance the night Tokat was there.
Incidentally, does Lefty here stay on the stage while you're doing your act?
You see how he knows his name?
Sensational.
Oh, he's a doll. Nah, he follows me through the audience. The people get a charge out of petting him.
I see. Well, I guess all of this leaves me just about where I was before.
Oh, I'm sorry I can't be any more help, Jack. But I hope you'll get this guy off my neck, whoever he is.
Yeah. Well, see you later, Jack.
Sam.
I go back outside and nod to the guard who's standing over in the shadows and get into my car. So far, what I've got is a big hunk of nothing. About a block away from Sam's apartment house, it starts raining, so I reach into the back seat for my trench coat. But what my hand hits isn't a trench coat. It's a body. I jam my foot on the brakes. Turn my flashlight into the back seat. It's the body of the guard who was on duty when I went into the apartment. Then it hits me. I didn't get a good look at the guy in the shadows when I came out. Now I know he wasn't the guard at all. He's the killer. I head back to the apartment in a hurry. The door's unlocked. Lefty's honking frantically, and Sam's on the floor with a cloth tapped over his face. As I bend over him, I get a strong whiff of a sick, sweet smell. Chloroform. Sam. Sam! Come out of it, Sam. Come on, Sam.
Oh, hiya, Jack.
Yeah, Jack. What happened?
You tell me. Right after you left, I hear a knock on the door. I think maybe you've forgotten something. So I open the door and I get belted right between the eyes.
You didn't see who hit you?
Oh, I was too busy gazing at all those stars. Oh, brother, it was sure convenient you came back when you did.
Yeah, it sure was, Sam.
Look, Jack, would you mind taking me and Lefty to the theater? My act is on in about an hour.
You sure you feel like going on?
Yeah, I'm still a little groggy, but I'll be okay.
You're pretty quick on the recovery, aren't you, Sam?
Sure, that's me, Jack. Snap right back into shape.
Okay. I'll call Lieutenant Bollock and tell him what happened, and then I'll take you over to the theater. Bollock meets us at the theater, and he and I stay to watch the show. In case there's another attempt on Sam's life, we sit through the feature, and then comes the newsreel Sam told us about. It's a shot of some Turkish army maneuvers.
The importance of these maneuvers is borne out by the presence of the officials who are witnessing them. Government agent Yusuf Tokat, his assistant Dalmud, General Abura.
That's how Sam knew Tokat was in here the night of his murder, Bollock. He saw his name on his wallet, and then he spotted him in this newsreel shot the next night.
Yes, see, there's Tokat standing by the tank.
After the newsreel comes the stage show. We watch Sam and Lefty go through their act. Lefty's still depressed, so Sam has to fill in by pulling pigeons out of people's pockets. Bollock and I are on the edge of the seats waiting for something to happen, but nothing does. Sam finishes his act, and the feature starts. Bollock and I head backstage for Sam's dressing room.
Yes?
Oh. Well, looks like we got the wrong dressing room. I'm looking for Sam.
This is his dressing room. Come on in.
Thanks.
Sam's in the next room trying to get Lefty to take a nap or something.
I don't think I've had the pleasure.
Doris.
Steve Mitchell, Doris, and this is Lieutenant Bollock.
I am honored.
Hi, Lieutenant.
You're a friend of Sam's?
I've been working for him the last few days.
Oh.
Sort of helping him run his act. Taking care of Lefty, stuff like that.
You say you've only been with him a few days?
Yeah, I'm a dancer out of a job. Got to make a living some way, you know.
A dancer? Ballet, perhaps?
Not exactly. On the late show the other night, I threw my sacroiliac out of joint. Maybe that'll give you a clue.
I see.
Oh, hiya, fellas.
Good evening. We would like a few words with you.
Sure thing, Jack.
Balik.
It won't do you any good, Bollock. Skip it.
Let's go out in the hall to talk, though. I finally got Lefty to sleep. Hey, stay with Lefty, huh, Doris?
Sure.
Well, nothing happened during the act tonight.
So we noticed.
Oh, I'm glad you guys were there. I was really jumpy.
You saw no one in the audience looking at you in such a way as to arouse your suspicions, Sam?
Well, a couple of them aroused my suspicions, but they might be critics. You can't please everybody, I guess.
Just one thing more. This girl, Doris.
Oh, not bad, huh?
No, not bad. But how long have you known her?
Oh, I seen her knocking around in this neck of the woods for quite a while.
But she only came to work for you a few nights ago, is that right?
Mm-hmm. She lost her job.
So she told us. One bump too many.
Well, so I knew she was down and out, and I put her to work for me. Let's see, it was the night before Tokat was bumped off, I think it was.
Okay, that's all, Sam. I'll pick you up after the late show and take you back to your apartment.
Hey, some service, huh? A personal bodyguard yet. See you later, Jax.
Brother, this deal is making less sense by the moment.
I'm afraid you are right.
Why would Tokat's killer be trying to knock off Sam unless Sam had something incriminating in his possession?
You are thinking of the missing piece of paper from Tokat's confidential file.
Yeah. That's the only way it makes sense, Lieutenant, but Sam swears up and down he doesn't have anything like that.
Mitchell, you seem quite interested in this girl, Doris. Not that I blame you, but I
Look,
don't see...
remember when I first arrived here in Istanbul, we were talking in your office with Dalmat, Tokat's assistant?
Of course. Dalmud told us that Tokat had mentioned he was not sure whether this person he was after was a man or a woman.
That's right.
You think perhaps that...
It's just a thought, Lieutenant, and right now it's about the only one I have. In fact, I'm running out of leads. How about you?
I have only one left, and Dalmud is investigating it right now.
What do you mean?
He is searching Tokat's house in the hope that he might find that piece of paper somewhere.
Well, sounds like a pretty slim chance, but any chance is welcome right now. Come on, let's go on over.
Tell me, have you been able to find anything, Dalmud?
Oh, not a thing, Lieutenant. I have turned this house upside down. I have slit every cushion, pulled up every rug, tapped all woodwork. That piece of paper is not here.
Great. That just about does it.
Without it, what can we do?
Well, right now I'm afraid I don't have an answer to that question, Dalmat. I'm beat. I go back to the theater, pick up Sam and Lefty, and take them to Sam's apartment. Sam fixes up a bed for me on the couch, and we all turn in. Try letting a depressed seal with indigestion sing you to sleep sometime. Oh, it's great. But I finally manage to doze off, and then...
Mitchell! Wait! Mitchell!
Sam's shout brings me out of it fast. I jump off the couch and pull open his bedroom door. The lights are off, but I spot a glint of metal near the window. A gun. I take a dive just in time. But on my way down, my head crashes into the corner of the dresser. And that puts me to sleep fast.
Mitchell. Steve. Hey, Jack. That up, boy, Jack. That up, boy.
Sam.
Yeah. Oh, brother, you really collected yourself a lump on the head.
Yeah, right now I'm not sure which is my head and which is the lump. Hey, what happened?
Well, I'm just dozing off when I hear someone easing my window open. So I sit up. There's a guy crawling in with a gun. I give a yell. He whirls and starts out the window just as you come charging in. So he throws a shot at you and beats it.
Did you get any kind of a good look at him, Sam?
Yeah. It was pretty dark, but there was enough moonlight coming in the window so I could spot his face.
So you'd recognize him if you ever saw him again?
Jack, I've already seen that guy before.
What?
Look, remember this Yosef Tokat?
Sure, the guy who got murdered. Why?
Guess again, Jack.
What do you mean?
The guy who came in the window. That was Yosef Tokat.
Mitchell, I tell you this cannot be. Yusuf Tokat is dead.
Look, all I'm telling you is what Sam told me a few minutes ago in his apartment, Lieutenant.
But it is impossible. Tokat's car was completely demolished by that bomb. Apparently, when he stepped on the starter.
Well, how about the body in the car? You positive it was Tokat?
We have no reason to believe otherwise. The signet ring on one finger was identified as that of Tokat. Also the wristwatch. Of course, the clothes and the papers were burned when the car exploded.
And there wasn't enough left of the body to make a complete and positive identification, right?
Well,
That's what I thought.
But, Mitchell, this whole thing is preposterous. If Tokat is alive, whose body was in the car?
There you've got me.
And above all, if Tokat is alive, why is he in hiding?
Dalmat told us that Tokat liked to operate alone and undercover. Maybe he figured he'd have a better chance to nab the leader of the spy ring that way. Look, let's suppose for a moment that Tokat is alive and try to reconstruct what might have happened that night.
The night he was supposedly murdered.
Yeah, let's say that for some unknown reason, Tokat wanted to make it look like he was dead. He plants the body in his car with a time bomb, then slips into a darkened theater to get out of sight for the time being. But he's trapped by the stage show. He can't get up and walk out with all the lights on. Then Sam comes down into the audience and lifts his wallet, and then...
Then what?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't seem to track quite right.
Indeed, it does not. It leaves too many questions unanswered. Whose body was in that car? And why is Tokat trying to kill Sam?
Wait a minute. There's one possible answer. I'll admit it's fantastic, but this whole deal's fantastic.
Well, what is the answer?
Look, we know Toccat was trying to get the leader of a spy ring. Now, why would he be going after Sam?
Mitchell, that means that...
That means that I'm going back and have a little talk with our friend Sam right now.
Oh, Mitchell. Come on in. Oh, I'm glad you're back, Jack. I was getting a little jittery.
Were you?
Well, sure. You think I like this routine of nearly getting killed 3 times?
Yeah. Nearly getting killed is right. But it never seems quite to happen, does it, Sam?
Hey, what's the pitch? What are you getting at?
You've been in vaudeville quite a while, haven't you?
Longer than I can keep track of anymore.
You've probably done a little acting in your time, too.
Well, sure. Until I met Lefty.
Yeah. But maybe you've been doing some pretty convincing acting in this deal, Sam.
Acting?
Acting scared. Acting like somebody's been trying to kill you.
Acting like somebody's trying to kill me, he says. Jack, have you blown your cork?
You told me somebody tried to bean you with a sandbag backstage the other night. Anybody see it happen?
Nobody else was around.
And you said somebody threw a shot at you from an alley. Anybody else witnessed that?
Well, I don't think so. Now, look,
And
Jack...
tonight you said Joseph Toccat crawled into your bedroom window trying to kill you. But you were the only one that saw him.
He took a shot at you, remember?
Somebody took a shot at me. I'm beginning to wonder if it was you.
Me? Look, Jack, I'll tell you what. You've been working pretty hard lately. Now, why don't you just sit down on that couch and take it easy? And I'll show you a new trick I worked on for my act.
You could have killed Toccat with a time bomb.
Oh, sure. He didn't like my act, so I killed him. Look, Jack, I don't know what kind of a kick you're on with this thing, but if I've killed this character, Toccat, would I be pretending he's alive and after me? I wouldn't want to be linked to him at all, would I?
I was afraid that point would pop up sooner or later, Sam. Now, I guess it doesn't add up that way.
You've just been thinking too hard. Come on, Jack, let me show you my new trick. It'll take your mind off things. You see, I got a little red ball and a little white ball.
Look, I'm in no mood for tricks, Sam.
But it only takes a second, and it's a good one. Since Lefty's been depressed, I got to keep coming up with new tricks to fill out the act. So I want to try this one on you.
Wait a minute.
What now?
Sam, if you are in the clear, that means you still must have some piece of incriminating evidence.
Oh, no. Now we're back on that piece of paper routine. For the last time, Jack, I don't have it.
I don't mean you. I mean your seal.
Lefty?
You say he follows you through the audience. You also told me that he's been acting like he ate something and didn't agree with him. Where is he?
Well, he's asleep in the next... Oh, no.
Now, look. Somebody could have slipped that paper to him.
Well, you look. I'm a member in good stand of the Anti-Vivisection League. You go cutting into Lefty's dead body, and it's going to be over mine of the same name.
Yeah, but there's a chance that if maybe...
Oh, are you kidding? If somebody did feed that paper to Lefty, it happened 4 days ago.
Yeah. You're right. All of which leaves me just where I was before. Nowhere. Brother, what a headache. And things used to be so peaceful in the Navy.
All right, now, you ready?
Ready?
The trick.
Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Now, what color ball am I holding in my left hand?
Red.
And in my right hand?
White.
A red ball and a white ball, right? Now, I mix them around a little, then I take one of them in my fingers. Which one is it?
Red.
I put it under this hat. There.
Some trick.
Wait till you see the snapper. Now, which ball does that leave me here in my fist?
White.
So I slip this one into your pocket. There. Now, where's the red ball?
Under the hat.
And the white one?
In my pocket.
Lift up the hat.
Yeah? Okay. The white ball.
Now, pull the other one out of your pocket.
Yeah. Red.
It's pretty neat, eh? The red ball travels from the hat to your pocket, and the white ball vice versa.
Yeah, pretty neat. Well, I guess I'll be getting along.
Hey, now, wait a minute. I haven't told you how to do it.
Okay. So how do you do it?
Well, you thought you were looking at the red ball when I slipped it under the hat, but you weren't. That was just a little cellophane shield that made it look red. Actually, it was the white ball. I palmed the red cellophane when I slipped the ball under the hat. Then, when I put the other ball in your pocket, you didn't even look at it. You were sure it was white because you thought you seen me put the red one under the hat.
Okay, so now I know how to do it. I'll be a while with it back in the States. Well, I'll see you later, Sam. And give my very best to Lefty. Hey,
Well, what's the matter?
just a minute. Let's go over that trick again.
I know it. It grows on you.
It
doesn't
sure does. Now, as I get it, you look at the white ball and think it's red, but it's really only a piece of red cellophane over it.
That's right, that's right.
Then you don't pay any attention to the real red ball because you're convinced you've already seen it.
Hey, you got it down perfect.
Sam, you just showed me something.
Oh, sure, my new trick.
You showed me a lot more than that, a lot more than you realize. Come on.
Wait, where to?
Get a babysitter for Lefty. You and I are going to theater. I get the manager out of bed and make him open up the theater for us. Then I have him run the newsreel. I plunk Sam down in the seat to watch it. Pretty soon comes the shot of the Army maneuvers.
The importance of these maneuvers is borne out by the presence of the officials who are witnessing them. Government Agent Yusuf Tokat, his assistant Dalmud, General Abura.
That's it. Stop the projector.
Military.
Now, that's the shot in which you picked out Tokat the night after you lifted his wallet here in the theater, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, take a good look at that picture and point out Tokat to me.
Hey, that's him right there.
Where?
The guy sitting in the Jeep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Come on.
Well, say, what is this anyway? A cook's tool?
Yeah,
Well, where are we going now?
down to police headquarters. Come on, get in.
Oh, look, Jack, if you're still trying to involve me in this setup,
Don't worry about that, Sam. They may pin a medal on you.
A medal?
Sure. You just solved the case with that red ball, white ball trick of yours.
I still don't get it.
That doesn't matter. I get it. And I'm sure Lieutenant Balik will get it, too, when I tell him.
You will never tell him, Mitchell.
What?
Mitchell, a guy in the back seat with a gun. Hey, it's Tokat.
Oh, not Tokat, Sam. It's Dalmud, Tokat's assistant.
Keep driving straight ahead, Mitchell. Remember, this gun is pointed at the back of your head.
Okay, Dalmud. Where to?
Out of the city. You can guess the rest.
But I tell you, this is the guy who tried to kill me earlier tonight.
That's right.
And he's the guy I saw in the newsreel after he's been in the theater.
Sure, that's the point, Sam. Dalmud killed Tokat, planted his body in the car with a time bomb, and then took his wallet and slipped into the theater to get out of sight. He figured that in that wallet might be the slip of paper which put the finger on him as the head of the spy ring. Right, Dalmud?
It's a pity you did not solve the case until too late, is it not?
So when you pulled Tokat's wallet out of Dalmud's pocket, you naturally figured Dalmud was Tokat. Then, the next night, in the newsreel, you spot the guy who was in the theater sitting in a Jeep, and again, you naturally figure it's Tokat, but instead it was Dalmud here.
Jack, you figured that out from the trick I showed you?
Sure. Tokat's wallet was just like the red cellophane that makes the white ball look red. It made you think Dalmud was Tokat.
But let me assure you that your sleight of hand will do you no good now.
Well, sleight of hand's a funny thing, Dalmud. Sometimes the hand's quicker than the eye, and sometimes even quicker than the hand is the foot. Off balance, huh? You can't aim when you're draped over the front seat.
Let go, they got...
Sure, right now.
Oh, Jack, that's what you call a clip.
Well, I guess it'll keep him on ice until we get him to police headquarters.
You know, this all goes to show you how smart Lefty is.
You mean that seal of yours?
Well, sure. He's the guy who pulled off this whole deal.
Oh, really? Well, just how do you figure that?
Well, if Lefty hadn't gotten depressed, I wouldn't have thought up that new trick.
Huh?
And if I hadn't thought up that new trick, you wouldn't have tumbled into the deal. You see how easy it figures?
Okay. So I suppose Lefty and I should trade jobs.
Oh, now, Jack, that would never work.
Oh, well, thanks for giving me a little credit.
No. What I mean is, you could never learn to balance a rubber ball on your nose.
The NBC chimes will be ringing soon for the return of the irrepressible Bob Hope. Hope returns Tuesday, October 3rd, with more laughs and timely satire in his inimitable manner. Wednesday evening chime listening includes that master of the ad-lib and clever quip with rapid talk and that international walk, Groucho Marx. Groucho begins his hilarious quiz game, You Bet Your Life, on Wednesday, October 4th, 2 weeks from tonight. Remember, Bob Hope, October 3rd, Groucho Marx, October 4th. Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, is written by Bob Reif and Adrian Jandot, with music composed and conducted by Basil Adlam, and is produced and directed by Bill Karn. Be with us again next week at this time when Brian Donlevy, starring as Steve Mitchell, will embark on another dangerous assignment. Three chimes mean good times on NBC. Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize that this assignment's going to wind up with me trying to preserve my life with a can of embalming fluid.
Well, here he is, Commissioner.
Good. Morning, Steve.
Commissioner?
I suppose I pulled you right out of a big deal, as usual.
No, it was all very innocent this time. Matter of fact, I was walking a baby in the park.
What?
Honest.
Yeah, some baby.
And that's what I thought.
I have your plane ticket at my desk when you're ready, Steve.
Thanks, Rose. Well, where to this time, Commissioner?
Your plane leaves for Latin America in 1 hour.
Latin America. Good. I can polish up my rumba.
That's a good idea. You'll probably need it when the bullets start coming your way.
You always make things sound so dandy. Okay, what's the deal?
Steve, you know a man named Slaga?
I don't know him, but I sure know the name. Foreign agent, isn't he?
Yes, he's tough and tricky.
What about him?
He wants to give himself up to us.
Are you kidding?
No, apparently he double-crossed the boys he's working for, and now they're out to kill him.
Look, since when have I been playing bodyguard to foreign agents?
Steve, we stand to gain a great deal out of this situation.
How so?
We've been after Slager for a long time. As you know, he used to operate here in the States. We managed to pin a minor charge on him that meant a 2-year jail sentence, but he flew the coop on us. Now he's willing to come back here and serve his sentence. And more important, he's willing to give us complete information on the Latin American organization of the outfit he's been working for.
Sure, I see his point. That way he gets protection from the boys who are trying to kill him.
Right. All you have to do is get him out and bring him back here.
Get him out of where?
Take a look at this map of Latin America. See this country here?
Oh, that's where he's hiding?
Yes, in the capital of that country.
Oh, so all I have to do is get him out of there, huh?
Yes, their dictator doesn't seem to like us much, and that makes it tough on you. You'll be bucking the local law.
To say nothing of the outfit that's trying to kill him. Lucky Mitchell. Right in the middle again.
Slager's gotten word to us that he'll meet you at the Rio Gordo Bridge outside the capital tomorrow night at midnight.
Just a minute, Commissioner. After I meet Slager, how am I supposed to get him out of there? Do I carry him piggyback, stuff him in a suitcase, or what?
Your plane will get you to the capital city tomorrow afternoon. At 8 tomorrow night, be in the Juarez Bar. You'll be contacted there by a man who can make arrangements for a small plane. Now, Steve, it's vital that we get the information Slager's willing to give us. Get down there, contact him, and get him out of the country. Yeah, that's it. You've got your assignment. Good luck.
The National Broadcasting Company is presenting Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy in the role of Steve Mitchell, colorful, two-fisted government agent. At all those places of the world where danger and intrigue walk hand in hand, there you will find Steve Mitchell on another dangerous assignment.
Sure, I've got my assignment. Meet a guy named Slager in a slightly unfriendly country, then get him out of there before he gets killed. I've got a strong hunch that the same guys who are after him will be tossing more than bouquets in my direction, too. It's Wednesday afternoon when my plan leads in Latin America, and already I've got a reception committee of one waiting for me at the airport.
Senor Mitchell.
Mr.
Holt.
Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Eduardo Escobar of the military.
Oh, well, I guess I don't have to introduce myself. You seem to have me pegged already.
Indeed, I have, Senor Mitchell.
You don't sound like you're here to extend me the key to the city.
No, but I am here to extend what you may call an official greeting.
What is it?
It is known why you came to this country.
Is it?
You're after a dangerous and subversive agent named Slaga, who is rumored to be hiding in or near the city. Is this not true?
Well, you seem to be doing most of the talking, Escobar. Why don't we keep it that way, huh?
I see. In that case, although we do not see fit to forbid your presence here...
Gee, thanks.
I warn you, stay out of my way in this matter.
Just a minute. Does that warning come from your government or from you personally?
That is not for you to ask. To me has been granted the high honor of tracking Slaga down.
I see. It'd be quite a feather in your cap, I suppose.
I am not thinking of personal glory, but of the welfare of my government.
Oh, sure. Well, Escobar, looks like we're both hunting the same pigeon, but with one important difference.
And what is that?
I gather you don't much care whether you take Slaga dead or alive.
I would prefer him dead.
That's what I thought. What does that get you, a headline or maybe a promotion, huh?
You're being impertinent.
Sorry, but you see, I want Slaga alive. He's got information that would benefit all of us, and I want to get that information out of him.
Senor Mitchell, I am not here to discuss this with you. I am here to...
Here to warn me to keep out of your way. Okay, Escobar, so you've warned me. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Where are you going?
Look, what is this information, please? I'm going to a hotel if it's okay with you.
And then what?
Well, I tell you, that's for you to figure out.
Let me assure you, you will regret your attitude, Mitchell.
Yeah. See you around, Escobar.
Indeed you will, Mitchell. Frequently.
This is your room, senor. The best in a hotel.
Brother, I wonder what the worst looks like.
I can show you that. It's just down the hall. It's lousy.
Never mind. Say, I didn't realize it gets this cold down here. You got any heat in this room?
Sí, a gas heater. I was just about to light it.
Yeah.
There. Now, will there be anything else? Huh?
Yeah. Where's the Juarez bar?
2 blocks down the street.
Okay, I've got to be there at 8 tonight, so give me a call about 7:30. I'm going to get a little shut-eye in the meantime.
Shut-eye?
Siesta.
Oh, you miss sack time, huh?
Yeah. I see you've spent a little time in the States.
Oh, nada, senor. No. But my brother up there, he write to me letters. He has made me, how do you call it? Happy. Sweet dreams, senor.
It's just about dark when I stretch out on the rickety bed. I check over the timetable for the evening in my mind. At 8, go to the Juarez bar and be contacted by somebody who'll tell me how to get Slaga out of here. Then, at midnight, meet Slaga at the Rio Gordo Bridge outside of the city. And in between, try to keep Lieutenant Escobar out of my hair, to say nothing of the outfit Slaga used to work for. Sounds like a nice, peaceful evening. Well, fine, I doze off. I don't know how long I've been asleep when a sound registers. A window. A sudden warning flashes across my brain. I try to snap awake, but I have a hard time coming out of it. I get my eyes open, but the room's swimming in front of them, and my chest hurts. Then it registers. Gas. The whole room is full of gas. A sudden whip of fresh air hits me, and my eyes clear for a second. The window. There's a guy in the window with a knife. I managed to roll off the bed just in time. The knife plunks into the headboard. I stagger to the window, but the guy is gone. At this point, I don't care much. I'm more interested in filling my lungs with fresh air. My head starts clearing. I turn off the gas heater and head for the door. And there, standing in the hall, is the bellboy.
Senor, what's the matter?
You come back to see whether you'd done a good job on me?
I heard a noise. That's gas. Your room is full of gas.
Yeah, don't tell me that surprises you.
No, caray, don't surprise me at all.
What?
These haters, you can never depend on them.
Oh, so your story is it was just an accident, huh?
Huh? What do you mean, senor?
You said you were a pretty hep kid. Yeah, maybe you're more hep than I realized at the time.
I do not understand you. You saw me light the heater.
You knew I was going to take a nap. You could have sneaked back into the room and blown out the flame.
Well, senor, I have not been near your room. These gas pipes, they're all clogged up. This happens a lot, that the flame goes out. Yeah, we lose more gas that way.
Okay, so that's your story, and I suppose it's very hard to prove anything different.
Indeed it would be, senor. Of course, there's always the possibility that somebody entered your room. I would not know about that.
Okay, for the time being, we'll leave it that way. Maybe you're telling the truth, maybe you're lying. Sooner or later, I'll find out which.
Sí, senor, sí. I'm quite certain that you will.
I head to the Juarez bar thinking about the deal on the way. I never thought I'd be glad to see the day when two different outfits are trying to kill me, but I am now. One outfit tries to gas me and my life is saved because the other outfit sends a guy to open my window and throw a knife at me. Safety in numbers yet. Well, the bar is pretty deserted when I get there. A fat little gent is wandering around, picking away at his guitar. I don't have any idea who's supposed to contact me, so I sit at the corner table, and pretty soon a girl sidles over to my table, and she could be the contact.
Hello.
Hi.
I could sit down.
Sure.
You are an American?
Yeah, that means something to you?
Si.
You've been waiting for me to come in?
Si. All evening.
Good. You got a message for me?
Si.
What is it?
I am nice girl, Felicia. You are rich American. So I think you buy Felicia a few drinks.
Oh, great. Wrong party. I think we've been talking about two different things. Look, maybe you just better run along.
Okay. It is your loss, not mine.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Well, good evening, Senor Mitchell.
Ah, Lieutenant Escobar. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question, Senor.
Me? I just dropped in for a drink.
Very well. I hope you will enjoy your drink, because I intend to make certain that it is the only reason you came in here.
What do you mean?
You see the table in the center of the room?
What about it? It's vacant.
It will not be vacant for long, because I intend to sit there, Senor Mitchell, with my eyes on you. And that way I am quite certain you will not be meeting anyone here.
Well, suit yourself, Escobar. Now, isn't that just dandy?
Good evening, senor.
Huh?
Would you like for me to play a little song especially for you on my guitar?
No, thanks.
But I play good.
No.
Come on. For $1 I play anything you want to hear. Something to bring romance into your big heart. A tear into your eyes.
Ah, some other time.
Oh, but just listen to a sample of my playing.
Look, will you beat it?
Okay, I beat it right to the bar. Pretty good, huh?
Hey, you knocked my drink over into my lap.
Are you enjoying your drink now, Mitchell?
Drop dead, will you?
Oh, senor, I am so sorry. I was carried away by my playing.
You sure were, Buster.
Here, let me help to dry you in my handkerchief.
Look, just let me alone, will you?
But they're on the pocket, senor. Here, let me dry
Take
you.
your hands. Oh.
There. Now, everything is all right, senor?
Yeah. Everything's fine all of a sudden. I'll see you later. I slip out of the bar in a hurry, and what's made everything fine all of a sudden is that the little guitar player slipped a piece of paper into my pocket while he was drying me off. I get down the street, stop under a streetlight, and take a quick look at it. It's a map of a cow pasture outside the city where a small plane will be waiting for me tomorrow. Good. Then I see Escobar come out of the bar. So I duck into an alley and take a few assorted side streets out of the city to the Rio Gordo Bridge. Slaga is due there at midnight. I get there 5 minutes before and spot the meeting place, a clump of bushes underneath the bridge. I wait there a couple of minutes, and then I hear a rustle. I step out. But just in time, I see the glint of moonlight along a gun barrel, and I dive back.
Sunday afternoon means mystery and action with the chimes over most of these NBC stations. Mike Waring, better known as the Falcon, brings his suave and romantic touch to a perilous mystery each Sunday, followed by the widely acclaimed dramatic series High Adventure. Then the big guy steps in, the big guy who likes to tell stories of mystery and intrigue, only the big guy's stories are not make-believe. And then a new kind of private eye. Charlie Wilde concludes your Sunday mystery lineup with a few casual homicides. Now, back to Dangerous Assignment and Steve Mitchell.
The shots keep whistling over my head, so I know the guy can't see me. I inch backwards up the slope and start circling. Pretty soon, I spot the sniper hurrying up the slope, too. I wait until he's about 4 feet away, and then I jump him. A girl! Okay, drop that gun, sister.
No,
I said drop it.
Oh!
That's better.
Who are you?
The guy you were just shooting at, lady.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
But I thought that was Slaga.
What?
So, he's gotten away from me again.
Wait a minute. What's this about Slaga?
I thought you were Slaga. Is he I want to kill?
Brother, you too, huh?
Oh, what do you mean? You also wish to kill Slaga?
No, but right now it looks like I'm the only guy who doesn't. Escobar, the outfit Slaga used to work for, and now you. What's your beef with him? And incidentally, who are you?
Maria Peralta. I used to think I was in love with Slaga until I found out what kind of man he was. Then I stopped seeing him. I met a good man, I married him. But when Slaga found himself trapped in this city, he came to me for help.
I see, and you refused?
I say, of course. Then Slaga started hitting me. My husband, he came in just then and tried to stop him. Slaga killed my husband.
I see.
Tonight I followed him here to the bridge. Then I lost him. When you step out of those bushes, I thought you were Slaga.
Well, it's a cinch if Slaga was around here. He's not now. Those shots probably scared him away. And speaking of shots, Maria...
See, I know. When I think I almost killed you. Oh, senor, you can forgive me?
Yeah, well, I guess the only thing left for me to do is to head back to town and wait for some word from him.
Senor, I have spoiled some plan of yours.
You sure have, Maria.
Well, can I in some way make up for it?
You got a car?
See, parked down the road.
You can drive me back to the city. That'll make up for a lot. Because I'm not hankering to walk all that distance again.
See, of course, I will be glad to drive you. You come, huh? There is the building where I am. Stop up ahead, Senor Mitchell. However, I can drop you anywhere you like.
No, that's okay, Maria. I'll get out here. Hey, this looks like a mortuary.
The body of my husband is here.
Oh?
I must make the final arrangements. You see, in the morning, I take his body back to the little town where he was born. He will be buried in the family graveyard.
I see.
Senor Mitchell, I am afraid.
What of?
Slaga, he probably knows I tried to kill him. I'm afraid he may come after me.
Well, I doubt it. Slaga probably realizes he's pretty hot by this time. The only person he'll be coming after is me, so if you'll just go back home and lock yourself in, I'll probably have him on ice by morning.
But if you should not... Senor Mitchell, I know I have no right to ask your protection almost after shooting you, but if you could meet me here at the mortuary tomorrow morning and stay with me until I leave with my husband's body, I would feel ever so much safer.
Come to think of it, that's not a bad idea. If Slaga does decide to come after you, that would be his last chance, wouldn't it?
See... Once the mortician drive me and the coffin to the railroad depot, I'm sure I'd be safe.
What time are you due here in the morning?
At 8.
Okay. If I haven't grabbed Slaga by then, it's possible that he may turn up here at the mortuary in the morning. If he does, I'll be here waiting for him. No. Well, okay. Yeah?
Mitchell?
Yeah, who's this?
Slaga.
Slaga? Hey, why didn't you show up at the bridge at midnight?
I heard shots.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Where are you?
I'm safe for the time being, but these interests I used to work for, they are closing in on me.
I don't doubt it.
Mitchell, listen to me. You must hide me, protect me. Get me out of the country.
Look, Slaga, that's why I'm here. I've got a plane waiting for us in a cow pasture, but before I can protect you or get you out of here, I've got to get with you.
Very well. It is 3 a.m. In 1 hour, be on the Santo Tomas Highway outside the city, exactly 1 mile past the bridge. Park your car there and wait, and come alone.
I slip 5 pesos to a sleepy cab driver outside the hotel, and he lets me borrow his cab. I head out Santo Tomas Highway and arrive at the rendezvous spot 20 minutes early, which is just the way I want it. I climb out of the cab and into the bushes, and then I wait. 5 minutes later, a car comes poking along the road and stops. A man gets out and pokes a flashlight into my car. At first, I think it's Slaga, and I start out of the bushes. Then I see it's Lieutenant Escobar. This is just great, a fat chance I've got of contacting Slaga with Escobar hanging around. Suddenly, another car rounds the bend and comes down the highway fast. Then I get it. This whole deal is a trap. Escobar! Get down, quick!
Where are you?
I said get down!
Mitchell, what is the meaning of this?
That other car, get down!
Let go of me! That car?
Yeah, bristling with machine guns. If I hadn't made with a flying tackle, you'd be looking like a Swiss cheese right now.
Oh, indeed? And how do I know that this whole thing was not arranged by you?
Oh, sure. I arrange an ambush, and then I run out into the firing line to grab you. Look, Escobar, this is the third time I've been shot at in 11 hours. I'm in no mood.
You have only yourself to blame, Mitchell.
What do you mean?
I warned you to remain out of this affair. Next time, perhaps you will heed my warning.
I'll tell you one thing you can count on, Escobar. Next time, I'll stay in the bushes and let you collect a few more holes in the head than you've already got, if that's possible. I head back to my hotel. By now, I've just about had it. Not only is Escobar sticking to me like a mustard plaster, lousing up my chances of contacting Slaga, but the outfit Slaga used to work for is now thinking up quaint little traps to kill me, too. Obviously, they were the ones who rigged that fake rendezvous on the highway. I know now my only chance of contacting Slaga will be if he comes after Maria at the mortuary. She told me she'd be there at 8 in the morning, so I'm there 10 minutes early. The door is partly open, and I walk in, but the joint is deserted. No mortician, no hearse, no coffin, and no Maria. I head for the back room. A whiff of embalming fluid almost knocks me down. There are cans of it spilled all over the floor. The whole room's torn apart. Then I hear a sound. It's coming from the closet. I unlock the door. Inside, there's a guy trussed up with rope and a strip of tape across his mouth.
Thank you. I heard you come in, but I was afraid you would not hear me pounding on the door.
Who are you?
The mortician's assistant.
Here, let me get you untied.
Yes, please.
Brother, that embalming fluid is killing me. Even in the closet here. What happened?
I am not certain. I opened up a little earlier than usual this morning because we were expecting Senora Maria Peralta to come at 8 o'clock for the body of her husband.
There, that unties your legs.
Yes.
Brother, no wonder that fluid smells so strong in here. You've got some of it on your shoes. Go on with your story.
Yes. A few minutes before 8, a man walked in with a gun. He tied me up here in the closet.
What happened after that?
I know only what I could hear through the door. The mortician and the senora must have arrived at the same time. Apparently, this man with the gun was hiding behind the drapes. When he confronted the senora, I heard her scream, Sla something.
Slaga?
Yes, that's it, Slaga.
Oh, great. Well, you're untied. Come on, let's get some windows open and air out the joint.
Good.
What else did you hear?
Well, there were the sounds of a fight. Furniture overturned and cans of embalming fluid spilled. Then Slaga must have gotten the upper hand again. He laughed and said a very strange thing.
What do you mean?
Something about a coffin being a very convenient place to travel.
I see.
Then he ordered the mortician and the senor into the hearse and told them to drive out to the Santo Tomas highway. Apparently, his plan is to escape in that coffin.
Sounds like a pretty neat plan, too. The whole deal.
They left but a moment or two before you arrived. If you hurry, you may be able to overtake them.
You know, I've got a better idea.
What do you mean?
I'm about to take some advice that was given to me earlier.
I do not understand.
Lieutenant Escobar speaking.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Who is this?
Your old friend, Steve Mitchell.
Mitchell, where are you? I have been...
Yeah, I know. You've been looking for me, as usual. Lieutenant, I'm about to give you that headline that you've been bucking for.
What do you mean?
I'm down at a mortuary. The assistant here tells me that Slaga is heading along the Santo Tomas highway in a hearse.
What? I'll throw up a roadblock. Wait a minute.
What's the matter, Escobar? Don't you know a good break when you see one?
Why are you giving me this information, Mitchell?
You've told me several times to keep out of your way in this deal, haven't you?
So, you have finally gotten smart.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Lieutenant. I've finally gotten smart. I'll see you around.
But, Mr. Mitchell, I do not understand.
What don't you understand, Buster?
As soon as you gave your name over the phone just now, I recognized it. When Maria was here last night making the final arrangements about her husband's body, she mentioned meeting you. She said you were very anxious to get to this Slaga.
That's right.
Well, then why aren't you chasing him right now? Why did you call the police?
Escobar wants me to stay out of his way. And I also want him to stay out of mine.
What?
You happen to know anything about this guy, Slaga?
How could I? I never saw him before this morning.
And let me tell you a couple of things about him, and I think you'll see my point. You see, Slaga's a pretty sharp boy, sharper than I realized.
I do not follow.
It could go together, something like this. Slaga double-crosses the outfit he used to work for, so they're after him. He gets in touch with us, and he tells us he's willing to give us information and serve a prison sentence in the States if we'll come down here and fish him out.
Oh, but what has all this to do with...
Just let me finish. Yeah, that's the deal that Slaga presents to us. And it sounds good, but this is where Slaga gets sharp, or thinks he does. He has no intention of coming back to the States with me. He's just playing both ends against the middle and using us to get himself out of the hole he's in here.
You mean that is why this Slaga is escaping in the coffin?
I mean, that's why Slaga isn't in that coffin.
What? But I do not understand.
Don't you?
It works, Slaga. They are all chasing the hearse.
Maria, you fool!
It doesn't matter, Slaga. I had you pegged right from the time I untied you. That's why I kept hanging around here. I figured your little partner would be doubling back to meet you.
Oh, so you had me pegged. Then be sure you have this pegged.
Yeah, I figured you were holding that gun on me in your pocket the whole time.
Slaga, shoot.
In a moment.
It was a pretty neat deal, kids. Maria comes to me with a fake story about you killing her husband to set up this coffin gag. Then the story you give me this morning about Slaga driving away in the hearse. I'm supposed to fall for that and go chasing after the hearse while you and Maria leave for parts unknown.
Quite right, quite right. But you were not convinced, Mitchell. May I ask how you found me out?
Sure, it wasn't too tough, Slaga. When I untied you, you told me that after you'd been put in the closet, you heard a fight in the other room with cans of embalming fluid being spilled. But there was some of the fluid on your shoes. Probably got there when you were making the room look like there had been a fight.
I see. Rather stupid of me, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, Slaga, you're not quite as sharp as you figure in this deal.
What do you mean?
You can't get away with it. The outfit you used to work for is all out to kill you, so is Escobar. One of them will get you sooner or later.
So? You paint a discouraging picture, Mitchell. What would you suggest as a solution?
My offer still stands. I'll get you out of here and back to the States. You'd be smart to take me up on it, Slaga. I've got a plane waiting in a cow pasture north of town. We can still make it.
Oh, don't misunderstand me, Mr. Mitchell. I intend to take you up on part of your bargain.
What do you mean?
The part about the aeroplane. You see, I intend to leave this country with your help.
That's better.
Only without you.
Oh?
Where exactly is that plane, Mitchell?
Sorry?
Very well. I will count 3. If you have not told me by then...
Look, Slaga.
1.
You can't get away with it.
That should not concern you. You will be dead. 2.
Okay.
That's much more sensible.
Looks like I lose all the way around.
Someone has to. It could not very well be myself. Now, the location of that plane.
Here's a map telling you how to get there.
Thank you, Mitchell. You have been most cooperative.
He and Maria take their eyes off me a second to look at the map. It's my one chance. There's an open can of embalming fluid on the table in front of me. I get one hand on it.
And now, Mitchell, I'm afraid you have outlived your usefulness.
You can't shoot without eyes. The slug whistles past my ear. By the time Slag can get his eyes open again, I'm...
Get back, Mitchell!
I got a better idea. You get back.
I will...
I'll take that gun, Maria. Let's have it.
No!
Now, sit down.
You...
Sit down.
No! What are you going to do?
This is what I came here for. I'm going to take Slaga back with me.
Oh, he will never go. He will never tell you anything.
No? You think he'd rather I turn him over to Lieutenant Escobar?
Oh, no, you must not.
You see, that's just what Slaga's going to say when I put it up to him. And that's why he'll give me all the information I want. You know, some people sing for their supper. But just think how hard Slaga's going to sing for his life.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, is written by Bob Reif and Adrian Jandot, with music composed and conducted by Basil Adlam, and is produced and directed by Bill Karn. This week, friends of Dangerous Assignment get a bonus in good listening, for Dangerous Assignment will be heard again Friday. That's day after tomorrow, Friday, September 29th at 8:30 New York time, when Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell will embark on another Dangerous Assignment. Dangerous Assignment came to you from Hollywood. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC. Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell.
Yeah, danger is my assignment. I get sent to a lot of places I can't even pronounce. They all spell the same thing, though, trouble. But when I walk into the commissioner's office, I don't realize this assignment's going to wind up with me staking my life on a bluff, and then finding out, much to my surprise, that I wasn't bluffing at all. Morning, Commissioner. Ruth said you wanted to see me.
Steve, last night 3 men landed in Miami by plane. They were picked up in a limousine. The local police chased them, and the car crashed, killing all 3 men.
So what's all this got to do with us, Commissioner?
One of those men was a well-known foreign agent.
Oh, I see. How about the other 2?
The check was made on their identities. Phony, both of them.
Oh, you mean they were carrying phony identification papers?
No, the papers were legitimate enough, but they didn't belong to the men who were carrying them. We believe those papers were stolen from U.S. citizens who were traveling abroad, and in each case, those citizens were traveling alone and unattached.
5 will get you 10. That also, in each case, those U.S. citizens are dead right now.
Exactly. Well, Steve, it looks like we're up against a clever and vicious scheme to get foreign agents into the States.
Yeah. They grab one of our tourists, bump him off, take his papers, and then slip one of their boys into the States with those papers.
We've got to work fast. We don't know how many times they've pulled this trick so far, but we've got to keep them from continuing. Get down to Miami, Steve. Backtrack their operation until you find out who's behind it. Then smash it once and for all. Well, I said, you've got your assignment. Good luck.
The National Broadcasting Company is presenting Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy in the role of Steve Mitchell, colorful, two-fisted government agent. At all those places of the world where danger and intrigue walk hand in hand, there you will find Steve Mitchell on another Dangerous Assignment.
Well, ordinarily, there's nothing I'd like better than a trip to Miami, but from the look on the commissioner's face, I've got a strong hunch I won't be spending my time water skiing through a blue lagoon with a beautiful doll perched on my shoulder. My plane lands there on Friday morning, and I head for the immigration office.
Oh, Mitchell, we've been expecting you. I've got some luggage here you might be interested in looking through.
This stuff here?
Yeah, just help yourself, huh? This is the stuff that originally belonged to the tourists that we think these foreign agents murdered and then impersonated.
Routine stuff. Clothes, curios.
Yeah, that suitcase that you're going through now belonged to a Harold Davis.
Yeah, according to my information, 3 guys landed here in Miami and were whisked away in a limousine.
Yeah, that's right. When their car crashed, they were all killed. And that's where we recovered this luggage and those identification papers. But it didn't take us long to discover that the men in the car didn't belong to this stuff.
Oh, what kind of a plane did they land in?
A regular passenger plane. Caribbean Airlines, from Trinidad. Well, what is it?
Hey, this picture here in the suitcase. Is this the real Davis?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Davis, all right. Well, maybe you should say it was Davis. That girl with him in the picture, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. You say the guy who was impersonating Davis flew in from Trinidad, huh?
Yeah, that's right. You think that this picture was taken there?
I know it was. I recognize the hotel in the background.
Oh. Well, in other words, this picture shows that the real Davis was in Trinidad. But the man who flew up here from Trinidad wasn't Davis. Well, that means that...
That means that Trinidad is my next stop. So the trail's warming up. At this point, it looks like Trinidad is the spot where the switch has been taking place. I realize I've got to operate undercover and fast. So far, we've managed to keep that auto crash in Miami a secret, but it's only a question of time before the outfit that's running the racket finds out we're on their trail, and when they do, they'll drop their quaint little habit of bumping off tourists and concentrate on bumping off the guy who's after them, namely me. My plane lands in Trinidad the next afternoon. As usual, it's hot, but I've got an uneasy feeling that before I wind this one up, it's going to get a little hotter. I scout around to find the office of the Caribbean Airlines. Back of the counter, a tall, skinny gent is sleepily fanning himself with a travel folder.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are you the ticket agent here?
Yeah. What charming and delightful spot in the Caribbean do you want to fly to?
You sound bitter.
Well, this morning I didn't get a job I was counting on back in the States, and I also didn't get a raise here. Instead, I got a heat rash. I should be happy.
Courage, Camille.
Thanks, old man. Now, where do you want to go, or did you just want to browse through some rare travel folders?
I'm checking on a friend of mine, a guy named Harold Davis.
Oh? What about him?
Oh, I owe him some dough, and somebody told me he left Trinidad by plane the day before yesterday. I thought you might be able to check it for me.
Okay. Davis. Yes. Harold Davis took off for Miami night before last, flight 17.
Wonder why he decided to leave here.
This is something we don't ordinarily ask our customers.
Well, did he make the reservation in person?
Oh, no, it was handled through Interocean.
Interocean?
Mm-hmm. Travel agency here in Trinidad.
I see. You happen to have their address?
Yeah, here's their card. It's just down the street.
Thanks.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I won't keep you up any longer. So long. What snapped me into action is a girl walking along the sidewalk outside the airline office. I only get a brief glimpse, but it's enough to tell me that that's the same girl who posed with the real Davis in that picture I found in the suitcase. I go outside and follow her down the street. A few doors down, she turns into an office, and that's where I get my second surprise, because there's a sign on the door, Interocean Travel Agency, the outfit that's been booking passengers on Caribbean Airlines. Now I know the trail's heating up. I follow her inside.
Hello.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
Well, that's what I came in here to find out. You run this travel agency?
Sort of. I'm Miss Gray. Susan Gray. You a tourist here?
Yeah, sort of.
Sounds like you're a little at loose ends right now.
Matter of fact, I am. Maybe it's just that I'm running out of places to go and things to do.
Can't your wife suggest something?
I'm not married.
I see. Traveling alone?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be very happy to suggest any number of interesting little side trips.
Good.
That is, if you're not on any fixed schedule. What I mean is there anyone in the States who's expecting you back at any particular time?
No, I'm what you might call completely unattached.
Oh? Well, in that case...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could sure use someone to show me around Trinidad. That is, if you happen to have any spare time.
I think that could be arranged.
Steve Mitchell.
Okay. Tell you what, Steve. I'll try to line up a little trip for you. Then we can talk about seeing some of the sights around Trinidad. Where can I reach you?
Hispaniola Hotel. I'll be hearing from you then, Susan.
Yes, you will, Steve. And very soon.
I start back to my hotel, so I dangle a little alone and unattached bait in front of little Susan's nose, and she snaps it up like an underfed cobra, which is all very fine, except that what it boils down to is that I'm setting myself up as a grade A clay pigeon. Then, as I'm walking down the street, I pass a bar, and I hear a very familiar voice. I shove open the door and go in. It's my old friend, Lord Byron, the calypso singer.
So come to the Trade Winds Bar for your drinks. The price is right and the food, it's good, too.
And Lord Byron spots me at the bar, and his face lights up like a neon sign.
Once was a brave man, Steve Mitchell, he, the best ever came to Trinidad colony. He made a friend of Lord Byron, that's me, and both of us went sailing out to sea. We ran into bad men in diving suits, and had much trouble, you can bet your boots. But when all the fighting was over and done, the bad men had lost and Steve Mitchell had won. Steve Mitchell.
Hello, Lord Byron. Hey, look, thanks for the free publicity, but I just assumed that nobody knew I'd ever been to Trinidad before.
But why, Steve?
At present, I'm making like a typical tourist.
Oh, you're after someone again, Steve?
That's right.
Why don't you give it up, Steve?
Huh?
Always you look for bad men. Why don't you forget it? Now, me, I'm a happy man. This is the life here. To go fish, to go sail, to lie in the sun, to be happy.
That's nice work if you can get it.
There is more to life than this?
Well, I guess there shouldn't be, but
What's the matter, Steve?
that girl who just came in.
Girl? Oh, sure. She's nice looking, Steve. You want to meet her?
I've already met her. Susan Gray works for a travel agency. Does she come in here often?
Oh, yes. She comes in here almost every night. The tourists, she's always with them.
I see. Well, that checks. Okay, I think I'll go have another talk with her.
Be careful, Steve. No trouble.
No trouble. Hi.
Well, hello, Steve. I was just thinking about you.
How was it?
The
thinking.
Nice.
When do we start seeing the town together? Tonight, maybe?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have plans tonight, but we'll make it real soon.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I'm trying to line up a little trip you might be interested in.
Oh, good evening, my dear.
Oh, hello, Carlos.
I do not believe I have met this man.
Well, you couldn't have very well. I just met him a couple of hours ago myself. Steve Mitchell, Carlos Gelder.
Hello.
This man is perhaps bothering you, my dear.
Of course not.
He seems to be presuming upon a very short acquaintance.
Look, Buster, is there any law against talking to a girl in a bar?
In this particular part of the world, there are many unwritten laws covering various subjects.
Oh, what subjects, for instance?
For instance, you.
Carlos, please.
Just a minute, Susan. Okay, Gelder. Just what are those unwritten laws covering me?
The same which apply to anyone who seeks to tread on forbidden ground.
I could take that either of two ways.
You may choose whichever you like, but just be certain that you do take it.
Okay, for the time being.
And I can assure you I am not talking in terms of the time being.
Yeah. See you later, kid.
Steve, I'm sorry. I'll get in touch with you later.
So, Steve, she's a popular young lady.
Too popular, Lord Byron. Who's that little gent in the white suit I was just exchanging gay repartee with?
Oh, he's a bad man, Steve. Stay away from him.
Oh?
Carlos Gelder. He's a very powerful man.
What's he do?
No one knows. But in Trinidad, his name means trouble.
I see. He and Susan seem pretty thick. One trouble plus one trouble.
Is double trouble.
Hey, wait a minute. They're leaving together.
No, Steve.
Yeah, I know. No trouble. See you later, Lord Byron. By the time I get outside, Susan and Gelder are nowhere in sight. I start along the sidewalk, and suddenly there's a guy walking beside me. A grinning native. I speed up. He stays with me. I stop. He throws a shoulder into me and sends me lurching into the alley. I whirl around. There's another guy in the alley waiting for me, also with a big grin on his face. And in his hand is a wicked-looking knife with a spring blade. He edges towards me quietly, the knife held low and pointing up. The first guy is somewhere behind me. I flatten myself against the wall and wait, watching the knifer's eyes. He starts to jab. I swing my butt, the knife goes flying, but the guy just keeps grinning and moving in. I dive for the end of the valley, but the first guy jumps on me. I give him a left, but too late. They're both swarming all over me. One of them pins my arms, the other starts working me over. He's doing a good job on me. Body punches, enough to hurt, but not enough to knock me out. After what seems like an hour, I guess he gets tired. He winds up and lets fly with one to my face. And that does it.
Here's a word about another NBC Chime favorite returning to the air this fall. It's Chester A. Riley, played by William Bendix in the hilarious Life of Riley. Riley will be back over most of these stations just 1 week from today. Chester may not be the combination of lady killer, star athlete, and mental giant he thinks he is, but Mom, Babs, and Junior love him anyway. And you'll love them all, even the friendly undertaker, Digger Odell, when The Life of Riley returns just 1 week from tonight. The Chimes are your invitation. Now, back to Dangerous Assignment and Steve Mitchell.
Steve. Oh, Steve. Come on, Steve. Steve.
Oh, Lord Byron.
What happened, Steve?
Oh, I wasn't playing tic-tac-toe. I don't know.
Steve, it's no good. Someone was giving you a warning. Oh, come on back into the bar with me.
I could use a drink along about now. Look, did Susan and Gelder come back into the bar after I left?
No, I didn't see them. Steve, Lord Byron is your friend. He gave you good advice.
Yeah, I know. His trouble. I'm afraid it's a little late in the game to back out now. Come on, let's go on over to the bar.
So just then this other guy sticks his head out and says, now get this. He says, okay, wise guy, how are you going to get back? Don't you get it? How are you gonna get back? Yeah, that's the trouble. You guys just don't appreciate a good American joke.
Scotch and soda, bartender.
Hey, another American.
Huh? Oh, yeah, another American.
Clay's the name, friend. Abner H. Clay. Put her there.
Hi. Mitchell's mine.
Here, let me buy you a drink.
Thanks, but I...
I insist, friend, I insist.
Okay, thanks.
Well. It sure is good to run into another traveler from the blessed land.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, friend. I'm having a whale of a lot of fun on this trip, but I just haven't seen anything that compares with a little old hometown, good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yes, sir. Say, I got a great idea. Why don't you and me do this town up together?
Thanks a lot, but no thanks.
Oh, come on. Say, I can show you places you never even dreamed about. And girls?
I suppose you've even got a chicken inspector badge, too, huh?
What?
Skip it.
Oh. Come on, friend. Let's make a night of it, huh? What do you say? After all, it's my last night here for a few days. I want to make the most of it.
What do you mean, your last night?
Well, gonna take a little boat trip around the islands. We shove off first thing in the morning.
We?
Just small party. About 3 others, I think.
Just a minute. Are you, by any chance, traveling alone, Clay?
Alone? I sure am. You know, tell you how it happened. I was sitting there in my office in Milwaukee 3 months ago, and I suddenly said to myself, Abner, my boy, what you need is a vacation. So, here I am.
I see. And this little boat trip you're leaving on in the morning, mind telling me who arranged that for you?
Not at all, my friend. Inter-Ocean Travel Agency, right here in town. Hey, there's a little lady there who is just...
Susan?
Yes. You know her?
Slightly.
Oh, she's sure been mighty sweet to me.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, come on, friend. Why don't you change your mind and make the rounds with me tonight?
I just did change my mind. Let's go, friend.
Oh, brother, is this someplace, huh, Steve?
Well, it looks about the same as the last 5 bars we've been in, Clay. Look, this boat trip you're taking in the morning.
Yeah?
Have they told you where you're going?
Oh, they said we'd poke around a few little islands in the out-of-the-way places.
I suppose you're taking all your luggage and papers with you.
Well, that's right. Matter of fact, they told us to be sure and bring them.
Oh?
Well, they said we might stay longer than we expected if found places we like.
I see. Look, Clay,
What's the matter, friend?
Somebody just walked in.
Huh? Oh, it's Susan. Hey, Mitchell, I got a great idea. Why don't you come along on this trip, huh?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty short notice.
Well, Susan? Susan?
Oh, well, it's Mr. Clay and Steve.
Hello, Susan.
I'm glad I ran into you again.
Where's your boyfriend, Gelder?
Oh, we had a quarrel. I'm awfully sorry about that scene he caused at the Tradewinds bar.
I collected a few lumps in an alley right after that.
What?
But I don't suppose you or Gelder would know anything about that.
Of course not. I don't understand, Steve.
I'll skip it.
Oh, say, Susan, I just had me a great idea.
What is it, Mr. Clay?
Well, Steve and me, we gotten to be old buddies, and I was wondering, why couldn't he go along on this boat trip in the morning?
I was working on a trip for Steve a little later on. I'm afraid the one tomorrow is pretty well booked up.
Oh, well, I'll bet you could change that little lady. Yeah. Now, couldn't you?
Well, I suppose I could make some last-minute arrangements.
I'd sure appreciate it.
All right.
There, that's my girl. That's my girl, all right. How about that, Steve? Isn't that swell?
Yeah.
All right, now, I'll tell you what. Meet me down at the dock at 7 tomorrow morning, okay?
All right, Clay, I'll be there. Well, things are turning out a little differently than I'd bargained for. I'd figured on having more time to find out a few things about the Inter-Ocean Travel Agency before I took one of their little trips. But now here I am, scheduled to sail in the morning. I'm not sure I like it, but I don't have any choice. To back out would probably arouse their suspicions, and besides, looks like I'm stuck playing nursemaid to the happy American tourist, Clay, who's looking for all the world like the pigeon of the same name right now. The next morning, I take my luggage down to the dock at 7 o'clock. Susan and Clay are already there beside a small motor launch.
Morning, Mitchell.
Hi.
Come on board, Steve.
Okay. Well, where All the other passengers.
They should be along any minute.
How many are there?
3.
Oh, great morning for a trip, huh?
Yeah, but how about this boat? It doesn't seem to look big enough for much cruising.
Oh, this is just a launch that'll take you to an island down the coast away. You'll pick up the cruise boat there.
I see.
Oh, here comes one of the other passengers now. No, I guess it isn't. Hey, it's that Calypso singer.
Huh? Hey, Lord Byron.
Oh, Steve.
What's the matter, Lord Byron?
Nothing. I came down to give you a goodbye serenade.
Oh?
Well, you really get service, Steve.
Yeah, so it seems.
Now, where else could you find atmosphere like this, huh, friend? Okay, let her go, Lord Byron.
Oh, Steve Mitchell came down to Trinidad and met a girl who sure made him glad. She worked for a travel agency and arranged little trips for a modest fee.
Well, thanks for the plug.
Then Steve met a tourist in the bar last night who took him around and showed him the sights. But poor Steve Mitchell, he doesn't see that the tourist owns a travel agency. Well, a happy trip, Steve.
Lord Byron, come on back here.
But you see, I've got to...
You're not going anywhere, friend. Come on,
Right.
get in the boat. Move.
Very well.
Well, thanks for the try anyway, Lord Byron.
Sure, Steve.
Okay, Susan, shove off.
What about the other passengers?
We can't wait for them now. We'll take care of these 2 birds first and then come back for the others. Get going.
All right.
You've been the big boy in this deal all along, Clay, huh?
I sure have, friend.
Well, I guess congratulations are in order. That's quite an act you put on, being the great American tourist.
Not bad at all, is it?
And with Susan giving them the come-on, I don't suppose you have much trouble getting all the unsuspecting tourists you need.
We haven't had much trouble so far, and that's the way we're going to keep it.
You mind telling me where we're going?
Not at all, friend. Tobago Island, a little way down the coast. But you know, really shouldn't matter much to you where you're going. Because I'll tell you something. You and Lord Byron aren't coming back.
Oh, Steve and Lord Byron got big troubles now. They're locked up in the cabin of a little scow. The bad man tell them they're holding the sack. They go to an island, but they don't come back.
Hey, look, will you lay off? It's bad enough being cooped up in here waiting for the axe without you making a musical comedy of it.
All right, Steve. But why is he taking us to Tobago Island?
That's probably where his agents are hiding out, waiting. It's probably also the tourist graveyard. Incidentally, where is Tobago Island?
We've been cruising about 2 hours. There's another hour left to go.
Well, wait a minute. We're turning and slowing up. I'm going to take a look out the portal. Hey, I thought you said it was another hour to Tobago Island.
That's right, Steve.
Well, don't look now, but there's a little island right in front of us.
What?
Yeah, and we're heading toward what looks like a little abandoned dock.
Let me see. It's not Tobago Island. It's San Miguel.
Wonder why the switch. You familiar with this island?
Sure, Steve. Deserted island. I was here once.
All right, friend. I'll on deck.
I thought you said we were going to Tobago Island, Clay.
We were. But Susan and I got to figuring. Maybe you were a little wiser to our operation than you've been letting on.
I still don't get you, Clay.
Maybe you already knew Tobago Island was our rendezvous point. Maybe before you came down to the dock this morning, you arranged to have a little help show up there. All right, come on ashore.
Seems to me you're giving me a lot of credit, Clay.
I figure it's always safer to overestimate the opposition than underestimate them. So Susan and I spotted this little deserted island and figured it'd be a convenient place to stop for a while.
I will lead the way. There is no trail.
Just don't get too far ahead of us.
You've got the whole deal figured out, haven't you?
I sure have, friend.
Look, it seems to me you're taking care of Lord Byron and me the hard way. You could have tied us up and thrown us overboard.
No. There's always the chance your bodies would start drifting around and be discovered. Much better to have you safely buried in the ground.
I see. Just like you did with the other tourists, huh?
You catch on quick, Mitchell. This underbrush is pretty thick.
Follow closely in my tracks and you will have no trouble.
Hey, he's an obliging guy all of a sudden, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, here's a little clearing.
Yes, sir. This is where we stop.
All right, it's as good as any.
So this is the last stop, huh?
For you and Lord Byron.
For all of us.
What do you mean?
This San Miguel Islands is a very bad place.
What are you talking about?
Steve, you've heard the legend of San Miguel, haven't you?
Legend of it? Oh, yeah, why, sure. It's supposed to be a pretty bad place, isn't it?
Yes, a very bad place.
Look, bluffing's not going to do you two any good now.
It's no bluff. I'll tell you the story of San Miguel. Oh, once came a man to this island here. He built a house and he built a pier. Then he walked into this jungle so nice and green, and never any more was he seen.
Look, what are you giving us anyway?
It's the truth, Susan. I remember it all now.
The ground opened up and down he went. The earth closed over him without a dent. But on some nights you can still hear him say, from San Miguel Island, stay away.
All right. That's enough of your silly songs.
It's not a silly song, Clay. It's truth. All over the island, quicksand.
Quicksand?
Sure, that's it. Quicksand. The whole place is quicksand under it. Every once in a while, the crust over it collapses.
All right. I said cut out the fairy tale.
It's no fairy tale. Look, Lord Byron's the only one who knows where to walk safely. You kill us, and you'll never make it back to the beach.
Clay, what if he's telling the truth?
They're not telling the truth. I tell you, they're bluffing.
What was that?
Probably a hunk of ground collapsing.
Shut up, Mitchell. Just an animal of some kind.
Was it?
There it is again. Where did it come from?
Came from right over there.
Thanks for turning your head away.
Let go of me, Mitchell.
Drop that gun before I break your arm.
So, the quicksand story was a bluff.
Sure, and it worked. Lord Byron sharper than I figured. Now, drop that gun. That's better.
I'll get it.
Oh, no, Susan, I'll take the gun. Clay, come back here.
Let him go, Steve.
Let him go, you crazy. Clay! Now he's out of sight.
You will not go far, Steve.
What?
Oh, Clay.
What happened?
Don't move anyone.
But what happened to Clay?
He's gone. Quicksand.
What? Quicksand, but I thought you...
I was telling the truth. This San Miguel, very bad place.
Oh, brother. All this time I thought we were just bluffing. Come on, let's get out of here.
Lord Byron, very happy to do just that.
Look, you can't leave me here.
Don't worry, you've got a date with the jail, Susan, and I imagine the Harbor Patrol will be happy to head for Tobago Island to pick up Clay's boys.
Well, let's go back to the beach, Steve.
Okay, but just one thing now. Oh, Steve's friend, Lord Byron, has saved the day, and under the quicksand you'll find Clay. Now 2 more words, and then I'm through. My dear Lord Byron, after you.
Dangerous Assignment, starring Brian Donlevy as Steve Mitchell, is written by Bob Reif and Adrian Jandot, with music by Basil Adlam, and is produced and directed by Bill Karn. Be with us again next week at this time, when Brian Donlevy, starring as Steve Mitchell, will embark on another dangerous assignment. 3 chimes mean good times on NBC. Saturday night chimes mean Dennis Day and Judy Canova. Dennis Day will be back on Saturday, October 7th, just 1 week from tomorrow, with more songs and merry, mischievous mix-ups. The Judy Canova Show returns on the same day. And when Judy and her pals get together, it's 30 minutes of mountain-style music and mayhem. The chimes are your invitation to Dennis Day and Judy Canova. And now, stay tuned for Dimension X on NBC.